Assalamu alaikum and good morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the whole world. Today, my name is Ayaz Khan. I'm a clinical MR physicist in one of the cancer hospital here in USA. I have been doing mentorship for the past 16, 18 years. And what I do, I mostly walk through students for the admission process with step by step. And along with this whole process, I also mentor them how to write their CV, how to prepare for interviews, how to prepare for any letter that the university may ask, or any other scholarship organization. So that is SOP, statement of purpose, person statement, motivation letter, all these letters that they ask you to expect you to write. I help with that too. So today's webinar is only about statement of purpose, personal statement, motivation letter. So basically the letters that you have to write. I will go through every single point that I think is important. Once I finish, guys are more than welcome to ask any questions, because it is very important. I have points. I'm going to, of course, share those with you. But what is more important is, from student point of view, we need to know what is missing from our end, so we can answer those, and it's easy for you to write a good letter. Once it comes to me or any other mentor who would like to review it for you, it's much easier for us. If you just write anything and send it us, it's very difficult, because it takes several iterations before we finish finalizing any letter. Okay, so before I start my points, few things that you always should keep in mind. This is very important. Always read the instruction that is provided by the university, okay, or the organization who is offering this scholarship. Do not ignore them. If they ask you that your font size should be this, make sure that your font size should be according to their instructions. The number of words, the page, everything should be according to them, and following their instructions is very, very important. Now, why these letters has been asked? It is like any other application for a job interview, for admission, so it's for the scholarship or funded positions. The main reason is to filter out. If there is an opening for a job or even admission, if they say, okay, we have an opening, thousands of people would apply, and this is what the admission department or the hiring department would not like to go through. So what they do, they put some filter, some requirements, and one of the requirement is your statement of purpose, your personal statement, or cover letter. Always remember, these letters single-handedly can ruin your application if you do not write it nicely, proper English, grammatical, of course, consideration, and something which is easy to read. You will ruin your application. The moment they start reading it, it's annoying, and I read them every day, several of them. That's what I do, to help students with the mentorship. If it is boring, it is hard to read or understand, there is no clear message, it will be rejected. That is how it works. Now, on the other hand, a nicely written statement of purpose, personal statement, or cover letter would help to to make your application stronger. So see the contrast. If it's nicely written, it helps to make your application stronger. But if it is not written properly, single-handedly it can basically reject your application. Okay, so always keep in mind, this is a filter, this is a step for them to filter out or screen so many students. Okay, so the moment if you find some student find out, oh, there is a personal statement, statement of purpose, we have to write with the application, they back off. That means they are not serious, and this is how this is planned. I do the same thing. If some students, they come to me for mentorship, I ask them, okay, how about you watch my video, how about you read this guide that I have already written, I have spent a lot of time writing it. If they take it, they read it, come back to me for questions, that means they are serious. And if they don't come back, they were just not serious students who have no desire to pursue higher education. They were just trying it out. Okay, once you write it, these letters or these essays, these are used to assess. What is the assessment? They want to assess your writing style, okay, how well you write, your clear goals, and your future plans. Okay, if you are applying for one particular program and your future goals are different, okay, that is of course doesn't go along with their criteria, so that might help them screen out more students. And this is how it works. Basically, you put you have your plan in mind, somebody else has their plan. If they don't match, of course it's not going to work out the way it should work out. Okay, so keep these points in mind, that why these letters have been asked and what is the reason for them to review them and make their judgments. So assessment is the main reason. Now when you write a letter or any essay, always keep in mind what are the key points that you should keep in mind. The first and the most important is you should know who you are and what have you done. These are the 2 points you should always keep in mind. Okay. Second thing is, when you know what you want, then it's easy to plan how to get it. Okay, so 2 points. Number 1, who you are, what you want. 2 points. Okay, now with these 2 points there are 2 more points associated. When you say who you are, that means what have you done so far in your life. Okay, second, what you want, that means how to get it. So those 2 points have basically sub to 1 more point. So keep those in mind. Who you are, meaning what have you done so far. Second, what do you want? For that you need to know how to get it. So keep always this thing in mind whenever you write an application. Who you are, what have you done. Okay, that means your achievements. Okay, an achievement means of course, what have you studied, what was the reason you studied, or if you want to change your field, why you want to change it. Is it your job experience that gave you this reason of how you want to change your field? Now, for instance, you studied engineering because your dad asked you to, or it was a societal pressure, or you just got admission there, whatever the reason was. We don't want to go into that detail. Now, after you have worked for a while, you understood that this is not what you want to pursue your career in. You can always change your field, not a problem. That shows strong personality. When you come and say, hey, I want to change my field because I feel like this is my not my area of interest, right? And based on my job experience, I have seen that instead of engineering, I like management, okay? Or I like being, any other field that you can, computer science, for instance. From engineering you want to go to computer science because you did some project where you did some work and you found out that you were always very much interested in implementing those new techniques or new programs or whatever. Once you find that out, write in your application. That shows that you have a very strong personality, that you have now rediscovered your interest and yourself. So basically you can pursue now a different field, and for that you are planning it. So this is a very strong point. Keep those in mind. Okay, so you can definitely change the field. You can definitely have a good reason for pursuing higher education, and you should have a good thought process behind it. Now, a few points that I would like you to keep in mind, which every student, majority of them, they do it. Number 1, do not write or repeat everything that you have in your CV. Okay, don't write your CGPA. I can read that from your CV. I can read from your transcript. Okay, do not write about your final year project. Okay, you have that in your CV and I can read it from there. The moment you start repeating everything from CV, that shows that you do not even know how to basically use the opportunity where you can express yourself. Look, statement of personal statement is about personal. It says personal statement. Okay, this is your statement or your statement of purpose. What do you want? Do not destroy it by writing something which is already in your CV. Okay, which is already in your transcript. Write something which the reader do not know about. For instance, you can write about. I can give an example. Let's say you are an activist, or you're someone who is very much involved in the society and social work. Okay, you may have wrote those as a point in your CV at some point, but here you have the best opportunity to express yourself. You can start something about saying that, being, a responsible citizen, I have always have been involved in society with such and such examples. Then you can give some examples, okay? And then from there, you can start your story that I have finished undergrad in this, and now with my experience as a social worker or as a volunteer in these areas, I want to pursue something that might help me to address masses in this particular area because I already have experience, okay? So that's one way to start your SOP. Or, like I said, if you want to change your field, you can always say that, after working for that many years, I feel like I am more interested or more eligible to pursue my education in this field, which, let's say, management, while my degree was, undergrad was in chemical engineering or some other engineering, right? So you can always have these stories to start up with. So going back to do what you need to do is, you have to avoid, do not repeat what you have already in CV or your transcript. Another mistake that student makes, every student make, is there is no flow. So when you write one sentence, before you writing the next sentence, read the first one and make sure they are both in the flow. There is connection between the sentence. You're talking about something, the very next sentence is completely different. The third is different. So basically you are giving points, bullet points, but you're not giving a story in your, so it's an essay, it has to be in flow, okay? So always, whenever you write the next sentence, read the first one. By the time you finishing the first paragraph, let's say you have 7 or 6 sentences, when you are writing the last one, you will go back, read the whole paragraph, and then write the next one. This is how it is done. That's why it takes a long time to finish your SOPs, your personal statements. So for me, it's very easy because I have read thousands of them. I probably have, I don't know how many SOPs I have read in the past 16, 17 years. And when I read it, I have experience, so it's easy for me to point out. But when you write it, of course, it's very difficult. It's not easy. You have to take so much time. Always use different iteration. Read some, write some. If you have some break, take some break. Read it again after a couple of days. Then try to improve it. It takes about, a good. So I'll go get back to this at some stage. Let me just finish this, the don'ts and do things. So between the lines, it should be paragraph connection. When you're changing the paragraph, make sure there is some kind of transition there. Don't just finish one paragraph and the next one is completely different. No, have something that is easy for the reader to do the transition. So keep those in mind. Between sentence and between paragraph, there should be some transition, and the whole SOP should give the message of who you are, what you have done, which I said, what do you want, and how to get it. Okay, and I will get back to this point later on. Do not write long stories about your, something that you went through. Do not get emotional. Okay, do not complain. Don't write anything negative about your country, about your society, about your family. No matter how much you have been, you went through a difficult time, please do not complain. You can write about the struggles, yes, but do not complain. No negative comments, okay? Okay, so now some of the points that you should keep in mind. You can definitely write about your struggle. So let's say if you are in very rural area, you are in a country which is not, established, third world country, and you are within third world country somewhere which is very, undeveloped area, right? So you could not have any access to even college or university, or internet or any other information that the rest of the people that have, these access. People who live in big cities or big countries, they have a lot of access to these knowledge. You don't. You can write those, not a problem. Same, being from a third world country, from a very undeveloped area, I went through a lot of struggle, which includes, walking for that long for the school, or, going to library, getting the books rather than, having access to internet. You can write those, not a problem. But again, do not make it very long, or do not make it emotional, or something you're complaining or you're trying to enforce yourself. See, this is another mistake students make. They try to push or enforce their application on the reader. Do not do that. The moment we see this, it is a very negative thing that you're trying to teach me, oh, you went through so much, I should give you because you're trying to emotionally blackmail me, okay? That is something that don't you should always be aware of. Another thing that student makes mistake is they try to teach us how to interpret their SOP. Don't say that, hey, I worked such and such where I have managed so many people, and then try to tell us, and this thing taught me how to manage the group and how to deal with them. Well, this is something as a reader I know, I will get it. Do not tell me what you will learn from those experiences. This is another mistake students makes it very often. So do not try to teach me how to interpret your SOP, okay, or your statement or your letter. Now going back to the points, so write about your struggle. Yes, you can do it. Any achievements, okay, if you have any achievement, please write about them. And big achievements, small here and there is okay, but something which is keeping you unique is always good. So one of them would be, for instance, let's say you participated in competition, or you are in a debating society, then you have done it, or you are even somebody who is physically very active, doing things, organizing things, right? These are the achievement you should do. Another thing you should write in achievement is something that you have introduced, something you have initiated that shows leadership quality. A lot of students make mistake between being a manager or being a leader. So initiating something or continuing something. So initiating means if you took a program or you took let's say a role in any society, in university, or in a social social working organization, NGOs, and what you did was you just basically jumped in and you started working and managing their programs. This is not leadership. Leadership is you came into that organization. So let's say you came as in engineering society, you became the president of engineering society of that university, which is a chapter of some big organization. Okay, now you saw that there has been some programs. Perfect. You worked and basically maintained those, but along with that, you saw something which you thought that should be initiated, and now you started from the scratch and you developed that program. You hired some students. Hired means as a volunteer, and you made a group, and you initiated and launched that new program or new activity in that society or within that group. This is called leadership. This is called initiating something. Merely saying, hey, I became the president of IEEE or any other organization. It could be a medical school where you have a book club or anything, right? And you just continued whatever was running. This is managerial experience. This is managerial power or managerial skills. It is not a leadership where you initiated something new. So have the difference, and you can write both of them as achievement, but write clearly what you did. If you initiated something, that's a big achievement versus you continued something, okay? Anything out of norm that you did is always something new. For instance, you're a female from a very remote area of Pakistan or in Africa or somewhere else, where for you the norm of society was that women, going in a higher education is not easy, and she struggled. Or even a boy, I mean, I'm not really saying, one or the other gender, but anybody. If you went through something which is a norm of the society and you went against it, but when you say against means you'd say, hey, people saying, let's just study this, be content with that, and you say, no, I want to have big plans. Write those. This is your achievements, okay? So if you went against the norm of the society of the the surroundings, and you did something big, so do not complain about them. Say, hey, although they were thinking that I should just be happy with whatever I have, but I had big plans and I was able to bring these changes, and after I brought changes, a lot of people followed me, and they became part of my group or my society or my NGO. And I know many students who I mentored. They have been in very remote area of Pakistan, and believe me or not, they are running schools there. And I had last year when I was in Pakistan, I went to Larkan, a very remote area of Pakistan, and I gave a lecture to a huge crowd in library and so many that we could not even fill everybody there. And I have a lot of students coming from there and some other remote area of Pakistan where they have a solar system just to have light so they can teach students in their schools. So this is big achievement. When you tell somebody that I am in some area where there is no electricity, I gathered some money, I bought the solar system so I can have light and a fan so we can start some local school for local students. This is something that will definitely give you out of norm achievements, okay? So now let me just give you the structure of the SOP or any other letter. All these letters exactly follow the same pattern. And I will give you the differences, what are the difference between motivation letter, cover letter, SOP or personal statement. The first paragraph is always about you. So again, you can write your struggle, your achievements, or any life-changing experiences, like I just give you the examples. Those you can write in the first paragraph, no problem. The second would be, what do you want? What is your motivation? Okay, any inspiration, any goals, any future plans, based on what? Based on your first paragraph, okay? So there should be some, that's what I said, there would be transition, some connection between these two. And the third one is, that's where you talk about why you want to apply for this scholarship or for this program. So who you are, okay, what have you done, your struggle, achievements, life-changing experiences, then what do you want, what are your motivation, okay, and what are your inspiration, your goals, your future plans. And then based on those, you would say, that's why I want to apply for Fulbright, I want to apply for this program, I want to apply for Chevening, I want to apply for Erasmus Mundus, because this program will give me, and this particular program will give me the opportunity to learn more, so when I come back, I will execute this, this, and this. Makes sense? What have you done? What are your motivation? How this program will help you so you can achieve your future goals, okay? Very simple. Do not make it complicated. Another thing that I would like you to keep in mind is, please do not write Oxford or British English. What I'm trying to say is, do not try to be somebody who is, like, do not impress the reader with your English vocabulary, which is hard even for the reader to understand sometime, okay? That I've been student, when I read their SOP, I have to really Google it, what this word means. I mean, see, to try, keep very simple, short sentences, simple English, okay, and simple words, okay? Yes, if you are applying for a literature, program, definitely, I understand that. But journally, of course, I'm giving the journal. So everything that I'm talking about is very journal information. Please do not take it like, oh, but I'm in the English literature, why should I write simple English? Yes, I understand. What I'm trying to say, in journal, keep it very simple English, short sentences and precise, okay? So toward the end, I'll give you something that is not just about SOP, it's about your life, it's about your career, about anything you do in your life, okay? If you want to be a successful person, always remember one thing, okay? And that is that you should know yourself. If you know yourself, it is easy to achieve your goals and be successful in your life. So always remember, if you want to be successful, make sure you are, you know yourself. If you do not know yourself, contemplate, think about it. Ask your, your people who know you. Your mom is the best person who would know, will give you your, the qualities that you have. Your friends, look at your life. Once you know what are your strengths, what are your achievements, what are your long-term goals, it's easy to plan for future career and what to pursue. It's much easier, okay? Now, if you want to apply for any scholarship admission, always remember, please, do not rush. Somebody tell you, hey, there is a deadline tomorrow and you should apply for this. Do not write one-day application. It's a waste of time. I'm very honest to you. It's a waste of time. You cannot complete an application for admission or for scholarship in one day, okay? Not even a week. Even a week is very short, okay? At least a month. Otherwise, start at least 3 to 6 months before the deadline. I'm very honest, 3 to 6 months, okay? Even if you have 24 hours, you don't work, you don't have any job or anything, still it will take a lot of time, because you will read about the programs where the programs you're applying for. Even you're applying for Erasmus Mundus or in America, first you need to know which university, which program, okay, what are your interests. Then you will read about the professors who are there. When you have so many universities, programs, it takes you months, weeks to get so much information gathered. Then you start writing your SOP. Of course, you will write the CV, editing, And trust me, when you send me for review, don't expect me I'm going to reply in one day. None. It will take me sometime 2-3 days, sometime a week. Okay, sometime I have 30-40 SOPs to review, and I can do 5-6 a day because it takes me half an hour just to review, and just I have my life, I have a job, I have family. So keep in mind that it's not just your time; it is other people who are helping you. They have their life too. So always start early. So this way you will have a lot of time to prepare. No rush. Nothing that you will be running. Nothing that you will be basically in haste or will be rushing for. Okay, so always start early. Don't just write any SOP and submit and say, let's see what happened. It's gonna get rejected. Trust me, the readers they need one small excuse to reject it. So always remember, when you start early, you always have so much chance. So let's say you write 5-6 months in advance. In 1 or 2 months, your SOP is ready. Now you start working on other applications, or you can apply more than one scholarship actually. Why just one? Always avail as many opportunities. You never know which will work for you. So once you have the break between once you wrote it and now you're reading again, you will be like, oh, I wrote this 2 months ago. Let me read it again. When you read it, you find out some more thing that you can add in, some more achievement, something that you never thought about. Sometimes people give you, some information that you can read, and then you can improve it. By the way, I do have a channel, and I do have a lot of videos on there about differences between different letters, about SOPs, about CV, about do and don'ts of admission. So many different, I don't even remember how many videos, different topics. You can always go there and review it. But please, always watch the video, read the instruction provided by university before you finalize your SOP or any of these letters, before you sending it to me or any other mentor for review. It just makes it much easier for us. Last thing, I'm going to go very quickly, but you can always watch my video. The difference between motivation letter, SOP, statement of purpose, personal statement, and cover letter is the layout, of course, and then the length, the tone. So personal statement is about personal statement, your statement, right? You can be more, you can write about in a way of story, no problem. Statement of purpose is more precise. What is your purpose of this statement? Okay. Again, contents can be the same, but the way you write it is different. Make sense? Motivation letter is the same. Why you motivated? What is your purpose? Okay. But you cannot just you can literally take the personal statement and put it in motivation letter, no problem. They're not going to reject it. But if you have time, just change the language, change the flow, in a sense that it is more of not like a story. Like personal statement, you can write in a way of story. This is how easy I can. And again, this is very journal and basic way of I am helping you to differentiate between these 3-4 letters. But you can be more lax in personal statement, writing in a way of story. But in motivation letter or statement of purpose, be more specific about what is the purpose, why you want to apply, and so otherwise they all three the same. If you want to keep it very simple, the three are the same. The only difference is cover letter, where of course cover letter is mostly for jobs, and when you write it, then you have to say to whom it may concern, whoever you are addressing, their name, the date should go there, and then once you finish, you basically toward the end you put your signature in, and the rest of the thing not necessary, but you can always say your name on it so they know who it does belong to. Otherwise it can be lost if they print it out. Okay, so always put your name on it. And of course in cover letter is more of very specific. I have reviewed your I'm applying for this job or this particular position, and I have done this, and this is the reason, this is I have achieved. And you can be more technical. You can write about your project and stuff and why you want to apply, and you think you are best suitable candidate for this position. Okay, so I think with this I have pretty much covered what I have in mind. And again, there is so much can be said, but again, I do not want to just say the thing that I have in the points I have. I want to listen from you guys. You can ask questions. I am more than happy to answer. And some of the things that which I have already covered in the letter in the video, and you just join it later on, I will skip those. But definitely you can ask me any question. I'm more than happy to answer any question regarding this video or about any statement of purpose, personal statement that you have in mind, because this is where we need more input from, and that is you guys, the students. So we know what are the points that you guys have in mind that which bothers you, and we can answer those. Okay. So I'm going to be quickly reading some of the comments and see if I can answer some of these questions quickly. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So one of the question, and thanks for asking this question, is how important it is to have a different SOPs for each university we are applying, except some changes regarding the field of study. So it is, in my opinion, of course, this is my personal opinion, it is very important. You should always change your SOP or process statement if you have time for each program. The reason is, see, every program is, their focus is different, and they may have different project in mind. So when you, let's say you have 2-3 projects that you have done, or you have expertise that they may be interested in, when you write your expertise, let's say they are asking for any particular expertise, and they ask in the instruction that please show us, give us an example of the expertise that you have. You may have 3 different projects. This give you different expertise, this for different, the third one different. Now they want the third one. You would of course highlight the third one more compared to the first 2. Okay. The same way you apply for another program, another scholarship, and expertise or the focus of that research is where you can have skill number 1 or the first project more relevant. Then of course you will write more about this. Makes sense? So once you change one paragraph, you may have to rewrite pretty much the whole SOP sometime. Again, this is very subjective, subjective to to what they want and how you change your SOP and how you would manage those. Okay. For some reason, I cannot open all the. Right. Let me just refresh. For some reason, I cannot open all the comments, which is very annoying. Okay. So I have already answered that question. Okay, if you guys don't mind, can you guys please read out some of these questions? Unfortunately, for some reason, I cannot open some of the comments that you guys have already written, and I'm having hard time basically opening it. So either if you can write your comments again, I'm more than happy to basically, like I said, to answer them. I'm here for a while, so I'm not leaving. So you guys can rewrite your comments, and I'm more than happy to answer those. Okay. So one of the question is, what is the difference between motivation letter and research proposal? Well, big difference. Okay. Motivation letter is about you, why you motivated. Okay. Your research proposal is what research you will work on. Okay. What experience you have previously, and what do you want to continue in the future. And usually research proposal is also asked for the same reason, like I earlier said in my this video, that they want to filter out, or they want to screen out as many students as possible. So they asked, hey, can you provide us a research proposal, or you can give us any research statement. That is by itself a separate video. If I need to do, I have to do a separate video. I cannot answer the whole question, but always remember, ask them detail what research proposal they're expecting. Just interest, which you can write in 1 page, or they really expect you to write the whole research proposal, which could take 5, 6, 7 pages, and you have to, of course, properly write every single thing, the background, the methodology, the research theory, and of course the statistics that is associated with it. Okay, so that is completely research proposal is what do you want to do the research based on your previous experiences, and motivation letter is something that you have to write about yourself, why you motivated to study this particular program, nothing to do with the research. Okay. 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 So see, the question about, you do not write about your field in the person statement. Okay, the degree says it already. You write about why you want to pursue that program. See, always remember, if you do not read about the program, you will never have any points. Okay, meaning the points you start with. Always read about the program, the professors who are working there. Okay, the professors who have a research interest. Read about their interest. Read about their publication. You don't have to understand the publication, but read what was their recent publication. Just read the paper. Okay, that's what I told you. Writing SOP is not easy. I mean, it takes 5-6 months for the same reason. When you are writing to me and you do not know what I do, why would I read your statement of purpose? What is the point? I need one PhD student. I get 100 applications. Out of 100, most of them do not have any research experience related with me. They're rejected. Then some of them, they have experience related to my field, but they did not read about my area of interest where they can highlight their skills. That means they're not interested. Yes, the serious one would be 1 or 2. And what they did, they read about me. And this is the whole point. You should read about me because I am the one who's going to hire. So read about me, read about my experience, research papers. Regardless of whatever I wrote 10 years ago, read the recent one. And if I'm saying I need machine learning person, you don't have to be a PhD. You can be an undergrad student. But if you have experience related with my work, I will hire you. Okay? So this is a misconception about people that you should have experience. No, you should not have experience related with my work, but you should have skills that is important to me. Then I will hire you. Okay? You do not, in America, I can guarantee you do not need to have papers or research experience to apply for a PhD. Okay, same goes for masters or any other country. The problem comes when everybody just throwing the CVs or emails everybody. That's where the problem comes, and then they ask, hey, give me a research proposal. Which research proposal? Because you never did research. Okay, always write a very good email with a very nicely written CV. Then the professor will respond. See, this is by itself a separate topic, how to apply for admission. So if needed, I have already done a couple of videos on this. I can do another one on this one. So let's not discuss that. Today was just SOP. That's what I told you. I do mentor from scratch to the end. Okay, every single point. How to select a university, how to select a professor, how to choose a program, how to contact the professor, how to write your CV. There are different topics. And I was invited to give this topic only SOP, so I'm going to only answer question about SOP. So just ask about the SOP, not about how to shortlist university and how to basically apply there. That is a completely separate topic. Okay. All right. Okay, so no, so just because you're sending your own SOP does not mean it's a plagiarism. No, if I write something and I'm repeating that in my other paper or something, it's not plagiarism because it's my own, thing, and there is no plagiarism in SOP and all that. Yes, you can send the same one, but the problem is since you applied a scholarship a year ago and now you're reapplying for the same scholarship, in 1 year I'm sure you have done more work. Okay, you have more achievements. So why would you send the same SOP for last year, which your achievement is not there, the one you have done in the last 1 year? Makes sense? So last year you had, let's say, whatever achievements you wrote in that SOP. Now in 1 year you have more achievements. So why would you not update your SOP? And to me, if you want my honest opinion, that shows you're lazy, you're not interested, and you're not serious. Otherwise, there is no reason why would you not, update your SOP. I have to be blunt, because these are the things that makes you, stand out. If you don't care about this small thing, yes, you should. Not because of plagiarism or because you already submitted, then they would not even remember this SOP from last year. But your achievement should be updated, and you should definitely, update that. Okay. All right. Okay. What else? Any other comment? I am waiting for any other comments. Okay. Okay. So one of the sorry, I have to take pauses because I'm reading these comments. One of the so there is a very famous saying that writing a long SOP or a statement is very easy. What do? You just pile up so many things and you can write. Yes, that's true. Writing 800 word of SOP is easier as compared to writing 250 words of SOP or letter or statement person statement. Yes, it is difficult. I agree. You only have 250 words. Please do not write in these letters. My name is Ayaz Khan. I have done this. No, you are wasting your time. When you only have 800 words, you should not write. In 250, you should definitely not write anything where it shows some information you already know. I am Ayaz Khan. I'm from Pakistan. I have done this. You wasted already 30-40 words. Okay. Do not write your name. Just say. Start with your motivation. Anything that you can start with. And again, I do not want to give. See, I do not give examples. I'm against samples. I'm against any ideas. If I give you an idea, if I give you a sample, I will kill your creativity. I will kill your imagination, and I will destroy your uniqueness. Okay, write anything that you think you should start your SOP with. If I read it, if I don't like it, I'll tell you it's not a good one. Write something else. Then you write something different. I may give you a suggestion. This is very subjective. Okay, so I never give you how to start SOP. This is completely your imagination, your creativity, your imagination, your uniqueness. Come up with something that is related with your personality. A lot of students make a mistake, and 90% of them they do it. When I was a child, from my childhood, when I was this, even you are a child, you did not know who you are. Please do not write this boring statement, starting lines. Or if you open your toy, you thought you were an engineer. No. I have a 18-20 months old son. He breaks stuff. That doesn't mean he's an engineer. Okay, every kid breaks toys. They open up the toys. Every kid does it. Okay, that means nothing. Give a concrete, realistic thing. Okay, that really give a reader a sense of uniqueness. Okay, that's why I am against. Do not read other people's SOP. Please do not. The moment you start reading it, you will always follow there. And then what it does, it shrinks your imagination. It limits your creativity, and it puts a limit to everything that you might be thinking before. A good example is when you watch, if you read a book, okay, any book like Harry Potter, okay, and then you watch a movie, your imagination, the movie would be completely different. But if you watch the Harry Potter movie first and then read the book, you will always think about that one character, and you will always have his imagination. The producer of that movie basically shrinked you. I mean, it's not his fault. He just made the movie. But what I'm trying to say, do not do that. Do not read and limit yourself. Use your imagination, wild imagination, but be realistic. Okay. So yes, 250 words is very difficult to read. I completely agree. Okay, it's not easy. So do not write any information which is already written in a CV and transcript. Do not repeat. Students repeat, like every time I read SOP, 50% is repeats. Like if I read one page, When I finish it, it's half page because I delete all these lines. Cut, 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 cut. Okay, why? Because you don't. That's what I say. Every time you read the next line, please read the first one. When you write 5 lines, then read all the first five lines, then read the 6th one. Then you will never make a mistake of repetition. Okay, be specific in 250 words and answer the question they asked you. It is usually for undergrad when they ask you about yourself, your achievements, and those small 2-3 questions. Definitely answer those questions and you should be good. Okay, and I'm more than happy to review it, like I said. But when I review it, of course, I need some time. Don't send me a day before, because a day before, if you send me, you don't have time to edit it, and I will never write an SOP for you, because if I write for you and make changes which you will just implement, that means I wrote it. I should get the scholarship, not you. And this is injustice for those students who wrote on their own. Okay, so don't expect me. I'm going to point out your mistakes, but I do not write it for you. Let me be clear with you. Okay, okay. Okay. So yes, you can send me the SOP CVs for review, but please watch my videos before you send it me, because most of the things that I'm gonna write in those as comments, most probably I have already answered those. One more thing that I would like to address, that is, one of the questions we should be specific about when writing a personal statement or any of these letters. Like I said, it depends on the instructions. If the instruction says, tell us about your skills and the projects you have done and your research experience, yes, be specific. Make sense? If the instruction says, okay, tell us about your achievements in terms of related to the field you are applying and any research experience, then yes, you should be specific. But if they don't ask, my personal opinion is keep it generic. Okay, I think they should answer that question. One more. Okay, so difference in the persistence when I apply in a hospital for residency. So yeah, see again. So if you're applying for for people for medical field, always remember that applying for a job and applying for a position, educational position is different. So for instance, if you're applying for any postgraduate program, you will, of course, depending on the program, you will write according to the admission office. Okay, so those people are people from the admission office. When you apply for residency people are not admission. They are a bunch of doctors. Okay, for them it will not be a personal statement, will be more of a cover letter. And in cover letter, you're not going to talk about your struggle. You're going to talk about what the program that you are applying for and what experience you have had it. So for any residency, yes, that personal statement will be completely different. Most probably it will be a cover letter, or even if they call it personal statement, you should write it in a way of a cover letter, because this is what it would be relevant to them, because they're not admission office. Okay, they are what? Residency. And by the way, my background is biomedical engineering, so I work in a hospital, and I have worked for the last 18 years in hospital, and I live in US, so I know all these. A lot of students, one more mistake people make it. When they send a statement of purpose, they say, oh, but you're not from my field. Yes, that is plus. If I am in your field, then it's easy to understand me, for me to understand the SOP. But if I'm not in your field, and if you can write a letter or a statement that even a person like me who is not from your field can understand, then that means you're a good writer, and that is a plus point. Okay, so do not ask people about, oh, what's your field, so I can send you my SOP. Just send them. As many people can read this, as many error they can point out, you can improve it. That is plus. Okay, all right. All right. If there is no other questions, I can call it off. You guys can still leave comment to this to the video, and then if there are more questions that might arise from these this comments, we may do another one. Like I said, we have no problem to provide you information. The problem is, please read what I just said in the whole video very carefully, and each point is very important. Okay, if you follow these and write an SOP, you are 75 to 80% most probably done. Only 15-20%, that's where we help you as a mentor. We review application, we we go over with it, we point out errors, you repeat, so 2-3 iteration. There has been student, I read once their SOP because they wrote it very well, but majority of them it takes 5-6 iteration, and 5-6 iteration means if I point out errors, you should take a week, 2-3 days, 5 days before you send it to me. So if you do that 5, 6, 7 times, you're talking about 50-60 days. Okay, that means 2 months. So yes, that's how long it takes. So start early. Okay. All right. If there is no more questions, I would be calling it off. If the moderator have any question, you can ask me. If anybody else who is watching, if they want to ask me, I am here for the next few minutes, and I'm more than happy, like I said, to answer any question later on. But if you can have any question right now, I'm more than happy to answer it. And same goes for moderator. If you have any question, please go ahead. Okay, so I have already answered this question. Do not write negative about your country. For like lack of resources, or sometimes people say it's a backward. Don't say backward. They say undeveloped. Okay, so your choice of words should be very specific. Okay, always say I am from underdeveloped area. I'm from third world country. That's fine, and yes, that's okay. You can say being from third world country where there is not many resources. I would like to try my luck in Western countries because I don't get the opportunity. No problem. You can say that. So you can say it in a nice way. See, there's a way of saying it. One thing is you say negative. Oh, Pakistan does not offer this, or such and such country do not have this because the government is very corrupt, and that this is bad. But yes, if you say something like, for instance, being from third world country, unfortunately, we don't have much resources here to pursue PhD, or we don't have much expertise. Okay, for that reason, I'm trying my luck. So once I achieve my goals, I plan to come back and provide expertise and fill up the gap locally, so the students like me can in future be beneficial. Yes, you can write something like that. So now what you did, you told them, yes, there is a lot of need of this expertise in this area, and I am willing to go abroad, learn, come back, and basically, so this is a nice way of putting your long-term goals and showing that, and then show them that you have done some. Don't just plan, give them unrealistic plans. Give them you have done some, and you know where the lack of resources are and how you can help them. And don't say, when I come, I'm going to change the whole education system and I will. No, you cannot by yourself. You say, I will come and work in an organization where I can provide the skills and expertise that I will learn to basically fill up the gaps where most of the students are universities they are lacking, and would definitely help to improve this situation. When you say help, that more realistic. When you say I will change it, that is unrealistic. Okay, you need the whole government machinery to do that, and everybody knows that it's not easy to change so many things. Okay, so I just wanted to point out, yes, you can be you can give them a plan of work properly, use good words, don't be negative, don't be complaining. I have already covered that in the start of the video. Okay, all right, any other questions? And please, one of the comment is that it is not easy probably to hear me. If it's not, please let me know, because I thought I was speaking loud enough for you guys to watch it and and hear me clearly. If there is no other question, I will call it off. Again, moderator, do you have any other comments, questions? If not, I'm probably going to be calling it off and finishing it. Okay, so one question is, can you share a good sample of personal statement? I already answered this question. I am against samples. They do more harm than help to you. Sample, see, I gave you the whole layout of the statement of purpose. Please watch the video if you have not. If you watch the video, everything that you guys are asking, most probably I have answered it. Okay, so yes, if you do not, for instance, like I said, one of the question is if we should not repeat what we have, the qualification and everything in the CV. So how should we give the example? For instance, let's say you have worked in after again, the structure of it depends how you structure your SOP. I do not want to give you hints that how you should start or how I should put. You can always write about your achievements, for instance, your skills, your achievement, your outstanding work. Okay, so for instance, you have done something which was praiseworthy. You can always write those, but do not make it like a completely that one. So you can start something like being a student. Some of my achievement includes working as a TA, working as an RA, where I had the opportunity to even develop some of the syllabus, okay, and also make manuals which were not included before. This is one example. Or let's say if you worked afterward, or you worked in an internship, and you basically work with someone and you basically brought something new, something that a project was given to you, and you implemented something where you have learned a skill. So you can give that example. How you're going to structure it, it's up to you. I'm not going to again give you examples, because then, like I said, if I give you example, unfortunately you start following it, and so many students are going to watch that, 1,000 of them, and then start following those, and I do not like that. Third example is, let's say you worked after you graduated and you did something which was you initiated it. You can always give example that again, you can stress some of my achievements include this, or related with their skills. So let's say you have done something and the program you are applying for is let me give you an example. So let's say you're an electrical engineer, okay, and you started working somewhere and everything was manual. Now we all know machine learning, artificial intelligence, basically machine learning, deep learning, these things are very common. Everybody should know. By the way, if you're a medical doctor and you think you do not know AI, you don't have any excuse anymore. Watch videos. There are free videos on EDX, on Coursera.com, on Stanford website. You can learn Python. You can learn AI. Everybody should know. Just like you know how to use a computer, you should know how AI works, regardless of your field. Even your pharmacist, you should know. There is no excuse anymore. Okay, so let's say you went to this company, and everything was manual, and you were used to keep record of stuff. Now you as an IT, electrical engineer, you watched a video, you learned, you heard about AI, and you basically went and you did some programming, wrote a short script. You can even find script for free online, okay, and you can modify, and you implemented it. You took the output of that of this machine or whatever, or you even put manually, no problem, okay, or you did interface. After interface, instead of manual where somebody has to sit down and follow these fluctuation or breakdown in a machine, now everything goes to this machine. It's just a computer. Seriously, machine language is a computer. This thing is now learning the pattern, and it is even giving you, hey, how often this machine breaks or fluctuate comes. You implemented this, you initiated this. No money was involved. You can literally put this experience there that I was the one who implemented it. You are electrical engineering, you did something computer science. That is learning. Okay. In one example, you told many things. You are an initiator. You take basically projects. You think you have a thought process. The third, you can implement things which is out of your expertise. Please do not tell the reader, oh, I did this, that means I am a creative, I am this. Do not tell me that. I know I will get it from the writing. Your job is to give the example, okay? So I hope I give you an example to show you how to express yourself. Or if you're a medical doctor, okay, and you have, basically in job, your supervisor trusted you, and you basically say that after working so many months, I was appointed to basically in charge of people who were, not as experienced as I was. That shows that you had the skills, or you have the expertise, or managerial power. Okay, always remember, sometimes the junior people come above and the senior stays low. Not that they're not smart, but they did not have the managerial power. Somebody new came and they went up, means they have the guts to manage. Okay, so people who, that's why I will give you an example. And I forgot to tell you, in SOP, always remember, don't just write about your skills, your education. No, tell them about other than that. See, SOP gives you a chance to tell the reader about things that they do not know about. If you're a social worker, if you are a runner, if you are in debates, if you are somebody who likes to do volunteer work, somebody who thinks, who is very creative, give those examples. Tell about if you're a good writer. There are people, I know a student who was an undergrad in chemistry and engineering, and he went fully funded master's program in USA in management. Can you believe he was a chemical engineer? Because he wrote a very SOP and I helped him. That's what the SOP helps you. You write things that you can see. You cannot change your CV. You cannot change your transcript. The only thing you have 100% command on till the last day is your SOP. Your GRE score is your GRE score. You can repeat, but it will take you some months. Your TOEFL English score, it will take you months again to repeat it. But if you have a low GPA, if you have a low GRE, your SOP, you can justify why. If you have a gap between, something, you can justify that. There is no gap, by the way. You always do something. If there is a reason you're changing your field, SOP is the only one where you can convince the reader why you're changing your field, why your skills are more important, or why you're a stronger applicant than others. You have everything in your hand. Okay, that's why SOP is very important. I started with the same statement, I will end with the same statement. SOP by single-handedly can destroy your application, and SOP can assist to improve your application. And your improvement is just assisting it, but to reject one statement is enough. The moment I start reading it, a boring statement with English punctuation, no English punctuation, poor grammar, there is no connection between the two sentences, that means you did not pay attention. You just copy, paste, delete. I don't want this student in my lab or in my job, or at my hospital or at the pharmacy or anywhere. Okay, so be very careful when you write these statements. Okay. Well, so one question is, what exactly counts most in personal statement? Is it the academic performance? Is it the work experience and the need of skills, or the personal goals? Depends. What they want. Number one, what are the instructions? If the instruction says, tell us about your experience or academic, your experience, your work experience, and of course, then that will be more appropriate. But if it's just a generic one, academic performance is already in CV. Okay, don't tell them you achieved 4 GPA. They can see it from CV, like I said earlier. Same goes for performance. CV has everything there. What you need to tell them is what you want. Like why you want to. The main see, if I am hiring someone as a PhD student, the first my question would be, why do you want to pursue PhD? Why you want to pursue masters? If you cannot give me the reason, you're going to be a failed person. It is, by the way, if some people do not hire you, or they do not accept your admission application, people say, I was rejected. Well, they gave you a favor by not accepting you as a PhD student because you thought you're a PhD student. Trust me, you probably don't even need PhD for the thing that you wrote in your SOP. By the way, my passion is career counseling. I started with guide, kind of like a as a guide. Then I went into motivation. Then I went to like more of like a um, mentorship. Now my biggest the thing that I always enjoy is career counseling. I have to be very honest to you. Please do not take it personally. If 100 students watch my video today, 90 of them would not even know why they want to study further. Trust me. Either they do not know why they want to study, either they have no long-term plans, they're not even clear about their field, and most important of all, they think that if they study further, they will get a good job. Completely wrong. I, as a career counselor, I enjoy this. I would do one-to-one session for the same reason. Most of the students don't even know why they want to do PhD. Research has no money. I don't want to discourage you because this is not the video for that. But a lot of students think that if they get PhD, they will get a good job. Completely wrong. Okay, that's why it's very important that you should read about the programs. You should know. That's what I told you. Know yourself is very important. If you know yourself, you will be a successful person. Then once you know yourself, then find out your long-term goals and look into that. Do you really need PhD for that? If yes, then look for the PhD program. Once you know the programs and you know their requirements, then you come to us. Okay, SOP, CV, and those. That's why I've stepped back from this, and mostly now I do career counseling. I tell students, do you need PhD? You don't need PhD. If you need, what you should be the route. And if you do not know, then how you should know who you are and what do you want. Okay. Once you know all these things, then applying for admission is very important, easy. If you do not know these, you will be helter-skelter. You will be applying here and there, and then you say, I applied 60 professors, nobody replied. Well, they did not reply because what you did, you wrote one email, I want to do PhD, do you have a PhD position? And you send it to 60 professors, nobody will reply, they will delete. It's the most boring email. How can you write somebody, do you have a PhD? Why would they give you a PhD? Write a nice email. By the way, I have a video on that. Why should you write an email? Because a lot of professors, they have PhD positions, but they don't want to advertise, because the moment they advertise, hundreds of people email them. So guess what? Sometimes they just wait, and they know. It's very common. I have seen it in the whole my life here. I have seen in my life, sitting with a professor, an email came, we read together, and we're like, yeah, let's interview this student. Because the email was written very nicely. I have done this. This is what my plan is. My skills are this. These days I'm looking for higher education thing, and I'm exploring my options. Here's my CV. That's the best way to write an email. Okay. So again, sorry I went a little bit in tangent, but this video was just to give you points about SOP. Okay. That's why I'm trying to keep myself here. There are big topics. How to write a research proposal, how to do research in limited resources, how to write a CV, how to write an email, do you really need PhD, do you need masters, so many videos, so many things that needs to be done. Okay, so let's just keep it to here. I think I have spoke more than enough, and yes, this video will be available. You can watch it, you can leave comments. If needed, we will do other videos, career counseling, many others, and we are more than happy to even suggest some other topics if you think that is much more needed. Okay, so with that I will end it, because it went more than an hour, and it gets boring when it is too long, because the student do not want to watch. Okay, yes, it will be so yes, the video will be available, and yes, you can leave comments, and I will try my best to answer all those. I understand that so many comments and messages come every day, so I try to reply to every one of them, but please watch the video. Most of the students, they make mistake. They don't watch video, they ask questions. So once you read the video, watch the video, believe me, 90% of your question will be answered. Trust me. Okay, well, the length of the SOP is read the instructions where you are applying. Okay, if there is no instruction, do not go more than a page. Okay, with that I will end this. I hope it's beneficial, and please leave comments, and I'm more than happy to answer those later on. Okay, thank you so much, good luck, and Allah Hafiz.